All right, shalom, shalom. This is the brother Danyala coming back again with another lesson. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, our spiritual fathers that taught us this truth. And then shalom to you hopeful elect brothers and sisters that believe in this word and that fear in the Heavenly Father and His Son. And it's going to be an impromptu off the top of the head, slash in transit, for a little bit. I'm gonna pull over and grab some precepts, Lord will. Just an impromptu for all the different things that's going on, according to prophecy. Wicked men are waxing worse and worse. People are coming up with more and more outrageous, heretic, false doctrines, man. Now all of a sudden there's now all of a sudden the slave ships don't exist, right? And there's different places that you can go where the museum could be inside of a slave ship, man. All of a sudden slave ships don't exist, right? All of a sudden we didn't come over here on ships. Then how did we get here? Right? How do you explain Deuteronomy 28 and 68? How do you explain that? Right? How do we get to the land of the north? Right? And that is this particular group, they don't advocate for faith. They don't push faith. They don't believe in miracles, which, to believe in miracles takes faith. All right? It takes faith to do miracles. The different apostles and men of the Lord that were with the Lord Yahushai, it took faith to do miracles, man. And you experience, you see that with what? Peter, when he was walking on the water. Literally walking on the water. To come out there and be with the Lord Yahushai on the water. Faith. Okay? When his faith started to waver, he started to sink. The Lord got him up, picked him up before, he would have sunk into the water, right? But it takes faith to do miracles. Okay? And to perform the different miracles that will be salvation unto the elect. Okay? That could be some of you brothers and sisters, to perform these different miracles, it's gonna take faith. It's gonna take faith. You believing that through the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you can actually fly, or you can actually run at the speed of light, or you can do great feats, man. Superhero type stuff, right? Angelic type stuff, like them that is feeble among them shall be as David, okay, and as the angel of the Lord before them, man. That takes faith, right? Let me get a little closer to this curb. I'm gonna get some precepts real quick. Go. Right? That takes faith, man. That takes faith. So, let me grab this. I gotta, cover up my uniform. I want people to know where I work. What would I do? Right, so all those different things take faith, man. you know, and it's this group, One Body in Yahushai, they don't push faith, you know. Seeing that they don't push faith, why would they have faith in, the true doctrine, man? Why would they believe the true doctrine? All right, because this is like, there's no slave. That's a ridiculous thing to say. There's no slave ships. Now they try to argue that I'm gonna actually grab that precept. They try to argue that one sec. Right, they try to argue that that because we've been lied to about so many things, that we've been lied to about everything concerning history. Now, yes, this is true. We've been lied to about many things. Let me get precept right here. This is going to be Psalms chapter 50. Because yes, this is true. The devil has lied to us about many different things. It's Salakia if I'm sweating. It's hot. And I literally, I do lots of physical labor. So Psalms chapter 50 and verse 19. This is talking about Esau Edom. How it's talking about him? Because when you read verse 17, it says, "Seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee." Right? So like here it goes. Verse 16. "But unto the wicked," who's the wicked? Esau Edom. Right? Malachi 1 and 4. He's the wicked, the border of wickedness. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, for the most part, because you have Israelites that are among them that look like them, but they're actually of the seed of Jacob, the seed of Israel. It says, "But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?" Right? They swearing on the Bible, and we're a God-fearing country, and yada yada yada, and the Bible's is better than a school education, and all these different things. But they don't apply not one thing that's in the Bible. They don't apply not one thing that's in the Bible, man. So they're hypocrites. And this is why Zechariah, the 5th chapter, says what? The curse, this is the curse that goeth forth upon the whole earth. Them that stealeth and sweareth falsely by my name. They swear in on the Bible, man. Right? But hop it back down, verse 19. "Thou givest thy mouth to evil," Esau Edom, "and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thy slanderest thy own mother's son." Right? So he lies and slanders the Israelites, man. Right? But he also frames deceit. It was a deceitful thing to say that, it was a deceitful thing to say that we all came from Africa and that was our origin. Okay? Knowing and having recorded, right? That's the thing about Esau. He has records. He has records that we recorded of ourselves. We recorded of our own history, and he has records that he recorded that you can still find some of. You can find a lot of them, man. Let me see. Like you got example. I ain't mean for it to be this long, but example records of Edomites coming over here and encountering the northern tribes. You got this right here. I don't know if it's going to show up properly in the cameras. Probably might be backwards. Yeah, it's backwards. I might switch it, see if I can switch it around. Right, but this book right here is called The History of the American Indians by James Adair. Or Adair. Right? A record of an Edomite encountering the Northern Kingdom, particularly the tribe of Gad and Reuben, right? And coming to a realization that what? That these particular right here. It says what? It says close to half of this book is dedicated to the notion that, it says it's a notion, but it's a fact. It's too many facts to really deny. The notion that Native American tribes are descended from the lost tribes of Israel, now discredited after anthropologists determined the original migration routes and blah, 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 blah. Right. So you got the information, then you got the misinformation. So it's true. Yeah, there is misinformation out there, right? There is false documentation, right? But this devil has, in order for him to create misinformation, he has to know the actual information. So he does have the records, and some of them records it's already gotten out. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, these different things have been revealed. Right? There's even records, and this is funny. You know, you listen to One Body in Yahweh Shai, and they talk about, well, where's the documentation, or where's the records, or show me, right? And hey, man, brothers at GMS, I'll say, and other camps have shown plenty of old records of these different slave ships, man. Who owned them, the names of the slaves when they came over here, the names that they had. Right? You can even go to museums where they turn a slave ship into a museum. Right? You can go look at them. But once again, this is all a part of prophecy, man. Right? So I wanted to get that real quick. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. Because if we came into bondage, now you have to explain to me then what is Egypt then? In Deuteronomy 28 and 68, where is the Egypt that we are returning to by ships? 'Cause I can tell you one thing, it's not the actual landmass called Egypt today. You don't need a ship to get from Israel to Egypt. How do we get from Egypt to Israel? We walked. You don't need a ship to get there. Okay? We walked. But this says by ships. We know Egypt means bondage. Well, not Egypt, but Matazarium, okay, which is the Hebrew words mean what? Double straits, and when you get into the root of the word, right, it means to bind. Okay? So we was in a very difficult position, and we were in bondage in Egypt, right? The house of bondage, Amos 3 and 2. Right? So now, what is that Egypt? Where is that place that we went by ships? Can you explain what that actually means? So Deuteronomy 28. It's 29. It's 20. It's Exodus 28. Salakia. Deuteronomy. I'm in the wrong chapter. The wrong book. 28 and 68, right? It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again, into bondage again, with ships. With ships. You put 2 and 2 together. Who went into bondage? Not literal Egypt. Who went into bondage? Right? All right. By way of ships. Bondman, bondwomen, slave man, and slave woman. Right? And this is a known fact around the world. And there's plenty of documents. There's plenty of documentation. There's so much evidence that the Lord has caused to be on the forefront that is undeniable. So you can see how foolish of a statement it is to say that there's no slave ships. Right? It says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. You won't see the land, the promised land. All right? Again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, right? No man shall save you or redeem you out of that situation. So, now you have to, when did this happen? Okay? When did it happen? What is this referring to? When you put 2 and 2 together, that's talking about the transatlantic slave trade. Okay? When you put 2 and 2 together. Right? So, just want to do a quick little, video. And, Lord will, I'm going to do another one later on tonight. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.